Disney Way, there's 2 editions of this. I read in 2001 the Disney Way, the first edition, and it clicked for me. The whole book talked to me about how you want your staff to create the culture you want and you lead that culture. That too many people put the burden of total leadership on themselves, where the director thinks that they are the only one that holds it together, and that the strength of vision and dedication to that vision and to style comes from bringing other people to execute it for you. Lee Cockrell, he supervised 40,000 people. 40,000 people directly underneath one man. Do you think he met with 40,000 people in a week? No. He had to create an environment of managers that he could trust to execute the vision to 40,000 people. That's a country. The 125th, I did not attend the 125th. I had to make many apologies to John. But I got the opportunity to spend the entire day with Lee Cockrell. And he also said yes to me bringing my entire management team to spend the day with him. So right now I'm doing a lot of praises for Lee, because he is one amazing person who took time to talk to my entire team about how to operate and culture. Shape your vision through dream, believe, dare, and do. This is a Walt Disney thing. All the way in the very beginning, Walt Disney framed everything he did on this philosophy. Many companies since have adopted this in visionary leadership. If you can dream it, you look at that dream. If you believe in that dream, so share and express your dreams for the organization. Let everyone know. Have you ever had an all-staff meeting where you just shared what your dreams were? Think about it. It's risky and it's uncomfortable. Have you ever just shared with your entire team what your dream is? If you understand that this is a place that will support you, try to make that dream a reality. This is key. The people with you will never believe in the dream if they don't feel validated or safe. They have to be somewhere where they can express their dreams. That's creating an environment. Dare. The only bad idea is the one not tried. This is a tenet that we train in at Camp Kern. But you have to back it up. If you stand in front of a group of people and say, we are open to new ideas, the first one that comes to you, you better go out of your way to prove you support that idea. Because if you squash it, you're done. You're done. This is just rhetoric. If you don't succeed, then you learn from the effort. Failure is okay. And I have had program directors who've come to me with these great ideas for big games that have bombed on historic levels. One was the Great Sahara, the Battle of the Great Sahara. She was so excited. Shannon was like, this is going to be the greatest big game ever. And she had all the kids in stations, and it was different nomadic tribes battling. It turned into the biggest water fight ever. Nobody knew what was going on with the game, but the fun came out of it. So we sat down with Shannon, who was just distraught. She was crying. She was like, nobody knew what the nomads did when they went to the tent. And you're like, you know what did we learn from this? It was overcomplicated, so how can we simplify it? Let's still take the Sahara deal. We worked with it. The next time we ran it, it was a great time. If you fail at something, you already have a playbook. Like right now, sitting in this room, every one of you has your camp program. You don't have the new stuff you're adding in, but you have a program. If everything blew out, your computers and everything else, you could still operate summer camp because you know your basic program, right? You do. You have a playbook you can always go back to. I'm saying be able to challenge it and encourage people to challenge it. Do today, not tomorrow. Get on it. Only effort yields results. I get a lot of hard time from my team because they say, and I've been working on this because it's an evolution, I don't celebrate enough. We will go after a project immediately, make it happen, and then the first thing out of my mouth normally is, how can we do it better? What's next? So now, for the past year, based on a promise to the team, I now count to 30. At minimum, I'll at least in my head be going, that was fantastic. 1, 2, 3, 4. Before I said, can we do it better? So we're working on celebrating. But speed from fear. I'll tell you right now, I'm going to tell in front of a group of strangers, my greatest fear, my personal, this is about the you, my personal fear is the fear of complacency. I am afraid of my last achievement being my greatest achievement. I'm terrified of it. I don't want to be that high school guy who relives the football game from high school at his retirement party. I have a great fear of it. It's also a positive and a negative. It's a positive fear because I keep pushing. It's a negative because I keep pushing like crazy. But you got to know yourself. Mission and vision. You go to plenty of workshops that say, what's your vision? What's your mission? I put to you that you have to have a personal one first. What's your personal mission and vision? Here's Camp Current, rewritten in 2002. It is the mission of YMCA Camp Current to provide a safe, fun, magical, and educational experience for all guests and children through the demonstration of the 4 core values and practicing a kids and guests first philosophy. That's only words unless you dissect it. We have entire trainings on exactly what this means, and our evaluation process evaluates you on this. We have an entire training on magical and educational in every program we do. The mission has to be put into every aspect of your program. Otherwise, it's just a mission statement that someone puts on the wall. Vision. If this is not your vision statement, it should be. To be the #1 camp in the United States. Now, most camps stop there. Hey everyone, our goal is to be the #1. I put to you to get specific. In reputation, program delivery, staff training, and facility care. This is not an ego statement, because I'm saying you should all have this. This is what you should be striving for, because quality of camping helps all of camping. If you're all excellent, then kids and families will believe that going to camp is worthwhile, because folks, reality check. There's a generation of people that didn't go to camp that are parents right now. They're not as bought into us. And if you're caught up in the cannibalizing each other's kids, like I gotta market better than that camp and get their kids to come to my camp, that's the dying market. The new market is the families that don't have a tie to us. And you know how we market to them? Not just as individuals, but a quality of standard that we know is why camping. So I put it to all of you. You should all be trying to be the best. You should all be trying to be #1. Specifically, step 2, staff. Without well-trained people, nothing can be delivered of quality. Nothing. But you can't get here if you don't first know yourself. What are you weak at? What's the weakest part of your leadership? I am the most unorganized paper person ever. I have Loretta. The truth is, Loretta runs Camp Current. When something's lost, Loretta will walk into a meeting that I'm having with someone, grab what she calls my man purse, which I find kind of offensive. She calls it the magic bag man purse. When something's missing, Loretta will walk into a meeting, take this, flip it open, dump it out, and find what she needs. I accept that paperwork's not my thing. So I hire the best organized people I can, and I tell them, I need you. I need this skill from you. You want staff that project. What's this picture project?
Fun.
Fun. If the theme, what else does it project though? Look at the detail. This isn't just a theme. There was some work put in here to portray it. He's even acting it out. This is not just, hey, go dress up as pirates and smile for me. This is a staff dedicated to portraying a theme out. You have to create the path to great staff. And you can't have a culture without these steps. Here's how we do it. Pre-hiring. We get crazy about hiring people. Crazy. Our pre-hiring system, at the very first meeting, you know when you guys go to the camper fairs and you're shaking hands with all these hundreds of people coming through? When's the last time when you shook a hand of a new person you said, hey, I'm really glad to meet you. Let me tell you right up front what our mission and commitment to excellent expectations are for staff here. Some people are like, oh, you're going to scare them off. Good. Yeah. Good. Because I want eyes wide open when you come into us. When you join this family, I want to know that it has been covered so many ways that, let me back up. I'm not a yeller anymore. You know why? I don't have to yell. Because if I've done this right, and someone has to leave us in an untimely manner, they already know it before we have the meeting. My goal is our team knows the expectations so clearly that they know the repercussions when they break them. And that's key. That makes your life easier. If you like screaming and yelling and firing people and it's a good time for you, don't do this. Be very cloudy. Say, welcome to camp, here's a contract. And then work it out. Basic expectations of all staff are covered in the very first meeting. Eyes wide open approach. Refer to the website and camp videos. We send them to our YouTube videos, our channel, our Facebook. We tell them, we want you to investigate us. We want you to know everything you can about us, because this is our pre-hiring. Expectations, our commitment to excellence. What's he mean when he says that? We have a standard sheet of 30 tenets of behavior that you have to sign 4 times before you start with kids. 4 times. And they get that. They give them the policies and procedures right away. This is not a public website, but I'm giving it to you. We have a completely separate website for just, and this has changed, campkerncounselors.com is now a website of just counselor referral. They get all their forms, their paperwork, updates, themes, information, all of it. There's a specific website just for the staff. Not given to the parents, but given to the staff. Next step, the actual interview. You got to bring the commitment to excellence to the interview. It's your first homework assignment as a would-be staff person. If someone says they want to interview with you and you gave this to them and they don't bring it, kind of tells you something. They're either like Jeff and unorganized with paperwork, so let's look for the creative, or they just don't care. I love it when someone comes to interview and say, well, I'm talking to 5 or 6 camps right now. Okay, I don't beg. And this is an important thing. One of the things that we teach in our management teams is the leverage and balance of power changes if you beg someone to take a job. If you beg someone to be your unit leader. If you ask someone to do that, they feel in a way they've done you a favor. In Kern, whether you're a returning counselor or a new counselor, everyone reapplies. Everyone. No job is automatic. No one comes back. And here's the added twist. I added this 8 years ago. I only allow back at most 75% of the staff. I will not. There must be, by, call it edict or whatever you want to call it, I set a goal that 25% of the staff must be new each year for a couple reasons. It reinforces that this is an open culture of ideas. It keeps the best coming back. I've worked camps where it was just assumed. I've been there, I'm coming back. And their work ethic can fluctuate because they're doing you a favor. I've been coming here for years. No, you're not. You're not doing me anything. I'm protecting the children. Leaders, your job is not protecting, at this stage of the game, the staff. Your job is protecting the future experience of the children you're responsible for. They deserve you putting this effort in. We use power hiring questions, we talk about current culture, we cover all the pay, and whenever we tour, we tour. Hire conditional on a good background check. Fingerprint, policy procedures again. We do pre-staff training weekends and pre-orientation weekends to the facility. We'll set up weekends throughout the year, and we will go to the universities and pick up would-be future staff so they can spend the weekend at camp. Just so they get familiar, they feel good with it, they meet people, they understand a little bit what's going on, and then we do belay and different activity area trainings. Staff training, we do a themed staff training. Started doing this in about 2003. The entire staff training is themed. New staff, returning staff, nobody knows. Only the admin team knows what the theme is. I just talked about a little bit of this in pop culture, where we use a theme in staff training. We do a tremendous amount of work leading up to the first 2 hours of staff training. I am not talking about a theme over the entire week. We all know during staff training week how long that theme really holds on to the end of the week. You're laughing because you know I'm right. Like on the first day is Pirate Day. By the last lunch, it's like, argh. You know? So we stopped fighting that battle. It's like fighting the battle of getting corporate groups to spend the night. We stopped fighting that battle. We get them to come for the day, and we saw a 200% increase in business. You know, some battles aren't worth fighting. So for the theme, we focus on the first 2 hours, but we'll knock your socks off. We did a Greek goddess and God theme, and all counselors waiting to find out what's the theme, in the mail, delivered to their home was a scroll. And they opened the scroll, and it was their invitation to the first day of staff training. Written in a way, I shared it with the last group. I don't know if I brought it. It's worth, it'll distract you. But we sent a scroll. The year before, when we did Pirates, I sent a ship in a bottle, and the invitation was inside the ship. Now at check-in, we told them it was a psychological test. How'd you get the ship out? Some people smashed, some people pulled, and so then we put them in different rooms. Kind of freaked them out. It meant nothing, but it was really fun. So they come to check-in. They all know it's a theme. First year and returning staff, it's all new to them. They're completely equal in this scenario. Nobody knew what the theme was. They come in. Usually there's a feast, and this was Greek goddess. So they went into the Gardens of Olympus, and admin teams in togas and apparel came out and gave them appetizers and drinks and never left character. Like, welcome to Olympus, and soon your audience was Zeus. And then they went into the hall, and we completely decorated to Mount Olympus. Giant round table. Drove the kids crazy because they had to bring out this whole feast on these giant platters. And so they sat down and they had this big feast, and it's 11 o'clock in the morning. And they're like, what's going on? And they're getting to know each other, and then this giant screen drops down, and this huge image of Zeus comes on and says, my lightning bolt's been stolen, you will find it, get out of here. And we rigged the make-believe pillars that were actually cardboard pillars from a carpet company to shake and then collapse. And we were like, get out of Olympus, Zeus is mad! And we sent them on their first tour of camp. It was a scavenger hunt to find, they had to go to different areas, find the equipment they needed to find the lightning bolt. What that was really was the camp tour. What that was a scavenger hunt. What that was team building. In their groups, they had to take pictures at each place that they went, and there was instructions at each place on the tour. Picture has to be done this way, has to be done that way. Then they come back, then they move into their cabins. Then we get the week started. Why do we do it? Because that sets a tone for everything else we do. They just saw the admin team go way above and beyond. They built Mount Olympus. Zeus chased me into camp. When I tell them I want to get into character, do you know how easy it is? You saw me in character. Why is this so hard for you? Program. Clicker. Program. Here's the formula that if you learn nothing else with all the modules and the trainings and everything else, this will keep a job. Staff plus program equals retention. And guess what, folks? It's in that order. Great staff, I should have added a line. Without you on your game to be great, to equal great staff, delivering quality program, you'll never get here with retention. I knew way back when, because here's the trap. 29%? 29%. I knew that the trap was this. The camp is casting a bigger net in marketing materials. That's what we do. Numbers are low. We drop a huge amount of money in the marketing net. We want to get as many fish as possible in that net to come to camp. Woo, numbers are up. And then we deliver crap. Fish leave. And guess what? When they leave, one of those fish tells on an average 10 people about their bad experience. And that fish's parents tell another 30 people about that bad experience. Now you have to cast the next year an even bigger net. That's why camp marketing dollars goes up for the fear of numbers, where the true answer is get busy with the program. What's going on with your quality? I look at a huge marketing budget and a low retention rate, and it is a very easy thing when I'm going to help camps and visit. We have a program issue. And normally if there's a program issue, what's going on with the staff delivering it? What is the internal staff conflict? I'm a returner. That does not mean anything at Kern. Like, returners are like, don't call me that.